Well, this is the kind of video I used to make.
Negative sound. It's neither done nor dusted.
You may remember that Christine Pavlina, the woman who claims that Bernie Sanders is the legitimate President of the United States because her spirit guides and God told her, used to have a big crush, and still does, on Mark Foster, a musician that she claims that she was destined to be with. That's actually quite common. I bring this up because I recently spotted a video that another person made in response to me. She made videos in response to me as well. Well, in response to a few of us, I should say, a general response. But this was back in 2017. And I wanted to go over it again because this kind of video is typically called a hater's video. And it's like, no, it's a vaguely amused response with audio clips and visual clips to basically convey the point. That isn't a hater's video. But let's carry on because I'm going to get on to not just Christine Pavlina, or Christina Pavlina as I used to call her. I used to throw in an A instead of an E. But also Last Frontier Medium. That he was denying his own path, his own true path, by not getting with her. With a YouTuber called Last Frontier Medium, she claims that she has a very important message for Keanu Reeves. I'll show the clip in a second.
I'm doing this because I feel deep inside my soul, inside my heart, one, I know I'm not crazy, but also...
How does a person know they're not crazy? They compare it to the world around them, surely. And if you don't actually have the right tools for that, and you're saying things which are really out there, like you know that you have a message for a person, you know this, you know that, there's some kind of break between you and reality. Now, to a mild degree, we might call that a form of psychosis, but let's carry on. I'll get onto that anyway.
Also, more importantly, that I know deep down the experiences that I had were for a divine higher purpose, and I know, and I'm not misinterpreting what I saw. The
thing is, these people who claim to interpret things, I had it myself. I used to be a spiritualist. I used to think I had mediumistic abilities as well, that I was sensitive. But like those two, like both Christina and Last Frontier Medium, I always call her Final Frontier. Why do I do that? It's because I'm a Star Trek fan, Final Frontier. But no, basically, yeah, you think that you have these impulses, these things, but it's you playing with your imagination and your subconscious. And then because you don't seem to be the one putting these ideas directly into your head, you think it comes from somewhere else. And you have loads of people in spiritualism and spiritual movement in general who tell you, no, that's spirit guides. That's your dead aunt or your, I don't know, a Native American called Redfoot. So yeah, you get that kind of shit all the time. And you're told to believe it, and then you pass it on as if it's true. It's a massive delusion.
If you're watching this, I beg you to understand, to please take time to consider the message that I'm telling you. And I understand that you have a huge profile to consider, and I completely understand how many people have stalked you. But you can be rest assured, I'm not going to stalk you, I'm not going to try to find you, and I respect your privacy indefinitely. But I know deep down that God gave me an ability to see things that I...
Now, why did I put that there? A person who harasses or persecutes someone with unwanted and obsessive attention. Okay. A person who hunts game stealthily. Well, that part doesn't work. I don't know, maybe, in a manner of speaking. This person is effectively harassing. And this is the thing, she's been found time and time again trying to get contact with Keanu. This is going back around about 3.5 years ago. Well, about 3 years ago. And, yeah, she is actually trying to do it physically. She, I think she even went to his town. So, yeah, that is stalker behaviour. She denies it, by the way, when she responded to my video in her video, which I may show in another video response in the future. Let's carry on.
I cannot explain.
People don't want to think that they've got psychological problems or a neurological condition. See, I put psychosis, question mark. Psychosis is in the break from reality. And I also said, odds are she isn't psychotic as much as deluded. Whereas in her video, she took the psychosis thing as her jumping off point. Because it's easier to defend yourself against a radical claim, which, by the way, isn't the claim I was making. It's one possibility. rather than dealing with the reality. That is, if she thinks she's being contacted by spirits from the great beyond who are telling her she must go and stalk Keanu Reeves to pass on a message, gotta tell you, love, that sounds a lot like delusion, which might well be fully explainable. They'd rather believe it's something spiritual. I have the truth. I know it's the truth, they might well say. And they fear the idea of mental illness or even full-blown psychosis, despite the fact that in modern medicine, many of these things are easily treatable. That's the thing. If you have a condition that is a meagre condition, you're suffering from certain personality traits which may be part of a broader condition, it's fully treatable in most cases and is not the extreme. The odds are you're not going to be thrown into a padded cell. The odds are your doctor's going to say, let's try some therapy, some talk therapy, or maybe group therapy, so you can talk about what you think is true. And you're like, no, I won't, it's my spirituality or religion. And that's why a lot of people don't get treatment. They have psychological traits which get to a point. They don't deal with these issues. They find an excuse to avoid dealing with these issues. And as a result, these things get worse. It's quite dangerous.
But I know what I saw, and I know who I met. It will refresh your soul in some aspect.
Well, there you are. I've put it where it's mental issues, question mark. After attention, question mark. Probably attention. Turns out, since I made this video, and since she made her video response in the same week, I think it was, in August 2017, she's gone mainstream. She's released a book on demonology, which has been shouted out by James Van Praagh, or supported by James Van Praagh. And she's gone very mainstream. She responds to fictional films and says things like, oh, that's not the way it is in real life. It was attention. It was attention for her low-level psychic business. It wasn't really leading too far. She built it up by making lots of videos about Keanu Reeves and other celebrities, and even video responses to me when I said, well, basically when I called her out. Make of that what you will.
Not me, but the messages that were delivered to me. I know it's hard to take me seriously in some aspects, and I completely get that. Now, I don't know how you feel about mediums, and I don't expect you to believe me. But what I saw were entities, souls, that were once alive.
Why can't you send an email like everyone else? You know, or send a private message, or even a letter. Send it, as a matter of private concern. It's a fan letter, etc. If he still doesn't want a message or reading or whatever, he doesn't have to. It just seems like she was trying to get herself onto the ladder of giving out professional readings to mediums. She could say in a video afterwards, oh, hey, by the way, I did that reading for Keanu. And he might be like, oh, no, don't do that. He might not like you putting out there that publicity, but even so, if you've got any real power, any real ability, does it matter if you're even in the room? Come on, that's bullshit.
Here that have messages for you that want to connect with you.
Visualization works very simply. You create the visualization or allow your mind to create it out of your own creativity. Now, this is a critique of my own work, and this is why I'm making this video. I think I jumped onto visualization. A lot of it's more sensory, more intuition than visualization. But when people think they see things in their mind or sense things or hear things or whatever, they can tune that imagination into something more than it actually is, and make it seem very, very real, even though it's actually fake. They effectively give themselves a form of mini psychosis, you might call it, or a minor break from reality through their beliefs. And that's where religion or spirituality engage with or link to potential mental health issues. There's very little to it. You visualize an angel, or you claim that you are summoning an angel. This is the thing, just interrupting again. I know it's just interrupting myself, so it doesn't really matter. But basically, with meditation, guided meditation, where a lot of these people learn the fundamentals of being kind of spiritual, they basically get the ball rolling, and that's where they cause a lot of problems in their life. They create these large delusions, they keep on progressing with these delusions and making them more real. It becomes a regular occurrence, becomes ritual, and from ritual practices, they end up basically making it seem to be very, very real. being a spirit guide, and your imagination, creative as it is, fills in the blanks. Because you're not directly doing all of it, or you're not inciting every single characteristic, you're not the provoker, the builder of every single aspect, you decide that it's somehow more than mere visualization. You might well see things that seem to be incredibly real, but are in fact merely the manifestation of the mind, and are perfectly explainable by the psychological makeup of the individual.
If I keep deleting these videos, then I'm not giving you that still open opportunity. And I get a lot of hate mail from people telling me,
it's not hate mail.
who are you to try to say that you have these messages? Who are you to delete?
Who are you putting all the videos up on the internet and then deleting videos and then re-uploading videos until you get positive responses, and then using it for attention time and time again, responding to people who are critics to get that attention? Then you go more mainstream to give yourself a steady revenue inflow. You have a website which you use for donations and to try and sell your book on demonology, where you try and make out that demons and attached spirits and possessions are real. So, I think people's critique of you and people recognising 3 and 4 years ago that you were in fact just view whoring, they were on the ball. And the fact that you were actually stalking Keanu as well and trying to, track him down, thinking you could basically get him in a mob or something, you could you could lynch the guy. Sorry, that's not the right thing to do, is it? Just, if you wanted to contact any particular person like that, send an email or a letter, hope for the best, because you're not in the position to actually get this stuff done. Unless, of course, it was just about views. Maybe you fed some of those rumours yourself, Maybe you claimed you were going out doing a lot of these things and actually trying to reach him, when in actuality you were just simply nursing those view counts, which equaled up to into the high thousands at one point. So consider that if you will.
Deliver these, you're not any better. What makes you think that you have that right? I didn't ask for these experiences. And my guides had me go to your house. I'm even happy to take
yeah, that's right. She did actually go to his house. Or so she claims. I mean, she was claiming that very openly. So it makes you think, doesn't it? I mean, why couldn't she have written a letter, gone to your house, posted that letter, or scribbled down your address, put that onto the front of a letter, post it? The mail service is quite efficient. And so the letter's there. It's like, okay, this is a private letter, blah, blah, blah. And it'd be like, oh, it's fan mail. Okay, it's fan mail. There you are.
Detector test to prove to you I didn't ask for these experiences.
Shows you stalked him, and then she backs off. And it's like, oh, hey, if you want to contact me because I'm talking to your dead relatives, then feel free to do so. She claims that's why she does the videos. A lot of it is probably just for pure attention. And I was bang on. I was bang on about that. And it wasn't me. I wasn't the first person to notice her. I think a few other people, I can't remember the name of now there. Michael, there was Michael and a few other people who recognised her before, I think, as I recall. I can't remember their YouTube names now. This is going back 3 and 4 years ago. But in any case, her saying these things, it's like, oh, well, it's just for a reading, just for a message. In other cases, she's saying she's got an important life purpose, she should be with him, and then she deletes those videos conveniently, keeping up only the videos that she thinks are relevant, or where she's got a lot of support, like the video response she did to me. There's lots of support for that. And why? I'm just a hater, apparently. Oh, right, that's okay then. I was calling her psychotic, and I was saying you're a attention whore. But whatever. The sheer number of videos like this says a lot. But could she be a psychic fraud who's basically using the idea of developing a relationship with Keanu Reeves to gather attention? It's her way of gathering views. She does get thousands of views in some videos, gets attention. So really, this might well be helping her to launch her career as a low-end medium.
And it's spreading fast. Whatever it is.